we found out that there's actually 2 other local dealers that were not buying any more silver. They said, we're not buying silver anymore.
What happens if I can't sell my silver? What happens if I go to a local coin shop dealer and they refuse me? They don't want any more silver.
What if all of your fiat money goes to zero Monday morning?
Buy your precious metals online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold and silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new.
You're buying this bar?
I'm buying.
That's a beautiful bar.
I'm here every week for the past 2 years. Every week. It's not about buying bulk. It's you buy a little at a time. Don't take a giant gulp out of your wallet. Okay, a little at a time. How many times do I come in here and buy an ounce?
Every week?
Every week. Okay, so do that every week. Now you have 50 ounces where you had none. If I told you this is $40 an ounce today, but tomorrow it's $400 an ounce, what would you do? You'd sell the farm and go buy all the silver you could. Wake up.
So Dave, one of the biggest concerns that I get in the comments and in emails is, Yankee, what happens when the local coin shop dealer is closed? What happens if I can't exchange my silver for anything, gold or fiat currency, paper or digital? That's a real concern with people.
It is a real concern. And in fact, it's already happened recently locally. There are
Really?
2 local dealers, and I won't say their names for their, their privacy,
Okay.
but that we've found already 2 different local dealers have stopped buying silver. They said, we're not buying silver right now. They're just not buying.
You talked to them? You've talked to them personally?
The customers that used to be their customers became our customers, and they came in and they said, oh yeah, I used to buy from so-and-so, but now he won't buy from us. And so he said, sorry, I'm not buying, so we came here. They were advertising on a radio channel we wanted. We wanted that radio channel, and well, it turned out they had a contract to the end of the year, and they couldn't continue to pay, and they lost their spot because the radio people came to us and we said, oh yeah, what these guys were doing is they were selling only. They were only selling, they would not buy. And this past 3 months, the good getting was in the buying, because
So,
people
are you
weren't
seeing
buying
that?
from us much. They were selling to us, but we were also making money in that direction.
So you're seeing more and more dealers like that. They're not buying it, but they're just
They
selling
were only selling, but they just got crushed because this past 3 months, sales were very low. Buying opportunity was very good.
That's what I was saying to him like a year ago. Eventually there will be a line out the door for, can you buy my silver back? Because I wasn't paying attention. He's like, yeah, maybe. Well, guess where we're at now, right? It's, you're buying now.
Some people are looking at it in terms of just make money.
silver.
Now,
Yeah.
to just make money, like as a profit-making means.
Right.
And so that's great. We want people to make money. However, the very basis of stacking silver and gold, at least to me and a lot of the hardcore stackers I know, is less so about making money and more so about just holding the value of your hard-earned wealth. And so that by having that, you have something that holds its value. And so a lot of those guys aren't like, oh, I'm going to get in and get out. They're more like, I'm just going to keep my wealth in those things. And so then, well,
They have a different exit strategy.
and that's the other piece.
That's
so,
it.
but I do think that there's a good chance that people may make gains.
Right.
I mean, I'd say it's highly likely that you'll make a gain in dollars, but will the dollars buy any more in greater quantity? Let me try to break this down. You bought an ounce of silver for $35. Well, now the silver price goes up to $500. You sell it for $500. Wow, you made $465. Now, you take that $500 and you go to the grocery store to buy stuff, and it might buy a similar amount of stuff as the $35 did when you first bought the silver. And so did you make money? You did make dollars.
Did you increase your purchasing power?
Did you increase your purchasing power? No. Now, I think that there's a good chance you may see a gain in both of those things.
Right.
But the main point is to hold your wealth. It's not a Wall Street thing like you're trying to get in and get out and get in and get out.
So if you have that kind of exit strategy, I think it lowers the fear factor a bit over what happens if the dealer's doors are closed. But you are seeing that happen.
We're seeing that. But I want to also just go back to try to answer that question again a little better, is that aside from the dollar inflation, a purchasing power, win or gain or not, is like, what are you going to do with your silver later? What's your plan? Is your plan to sell it back for dollars? That's not necessarily what I'm here to do. My plan is to trade for other stuff. And so if you are going to buy land in 5 years with the silver, I think in a few years, real estate is going to go down and silver and gold is going to go up.
Right.
And so I think that there might be time to purchase some land. And you can literally just trade a guy, gold or silver, for land that exists. Yeah, there's some people that may not do that, but there's a lot of people that will. And if you're like me and you want that like sort of rustic place, like if you want to buy an apartment in New York City, yeah, that guy may not take gold or silver. But if you want to buy like a nice, a nice place that's a little bit more country, you might be able to trade it for gold or silver. And if you have a different means besides 100% relying to sell it back for dollars, that if you say, I can sell it back for dollars if I need to, but I could also trade it directly for goods or services or for a truck or for land or for property. And if you have that, then you still have an exit strategy.
Right.
And for me, my silver is long term. I don't plan to just sell all my silver in 3 years if the silver price goes up to $500 or whatnot. If the silver price goes up to $500 an ounce and you sell, well, guess what? A week later, it's probably going to $1,000 an ounce because it's going along with the hyperinflation. And so if you sell your silver for hyperinflated dollars, you'll end up with a wheelbarrow in Weimar, Germany with 10 million marks that won't even buy you a loaf of bread. And your wife is going to want you to burn it in the furnace to heat the house because then you'll do something with it. Versus if you just keep the silver and gold, you can buy stuff with it. That's what it's for.
We did see triple-digit silver, which I do not think is unrealistic at all. Really, it should be there in regards to inflation already. But if we do, will dealers still buy the silver off the general public? Or will they be tempted to say, no mas, close the doors, we're not doing this?
I mean, A, I think it depends on the dealer. B, we don't know. And so mainly those two things. We don't really know what are the circumstances. Is it possible if the silver price goes up to $500 an ounce and we got to line out the door of people that want to sell to us? It's tough to say whether we're, and also here's one really important one. Are people still buying silver? Because if lots of people are still buying silver at $500 an ounce, then it's going to be possible for us to buy and sell.
Right.
But if people are only selling, then that may be harder to do. We intend to be able to continue to serve the customers. And I think it's very important that as a dealer, you both sell and buy so that when the customers need to get out or pay things, that you're there to serve them. And I think that's very important.
What's it like working with Dave and coming here at local Silver Mint?
Well, I look forward to it. He's a nice guy. He's worldly. He's been around. He knows what's going on. He's a real patriot. I can tell that,
What's your favorite silver to stack?
The bars I like. They fit tight and,
They stack well sometimes, right?
well, they stack tight.
This past 2 months, we experienced people selling to us more than buying from us. Most of this selling occurred even before the spot price jumped up past 32.
They're running out of money.
Interesting. Yes, and most of the people that were selling, they indicated that they weren't selling to take profits. They said, I don't want to sell at all. They think the silver price is going way higher, but they had to pay a bill. They had to fix their roof. fix their truck. One guy said his wife was leaving him and he needed to hire a lawyer.
Taxes.
Sorry about that. The taxes, that's right. A lot of people said taxes. And so people were selling out of necessity.
Got to pay for their his and hers Harley. They have to pay for their $1 million camp at the lake.
They're in debt.
They're in debt, and they will never recover.
Do you feel that people are buying silver for the wrong reasons, thinking, oh, as soon as it goes up, I'm going to sell it all for fiat currency again?
Yes. But get a clue. Your money will be worthless.
What do you think?
How's your FOMO now?
He doesn't lie, and he says how he feels.
Right.
And it's hard to disagree that, you should be stacking silver now. There's no doubt about it. Stacking silver is the right thing to do. Is there a time where it may be harder to sell your silver? If the silver price goes up to $400 an ounce, it may be harder to sell your silver. And do you really want to sell your silver for fiat currency that then will lose 50% of its value shortly after you sell it? And so I feel like the end game for me isn't about selling silver for dollars anyway.
Right.
It's about selling the silver. I mean, it's about getting silver so that I have a way to trade for goods and services in the future. And I know that silver and gold will always have a value. And so in turn, I can trade it for basic essentials. Right. But I do not plan to trade my silver and gold for fiat currency during the fiat currency meltdown. That makes no sense.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, that was exactly what I was going to say. So when it goes to 400 or whatever the number is, triple digit, why would he sell? Would you? Okay, I seen how many gold eagles you got and plenty of silver. You're my startup guy. And then I went to him. So at that point, why would you get rid of any of your silver? You saved it so you can eat.
Right.
People should be prepared to trade their silver or gold for real estate, for a truck, for the food that they need. If you want to buy a dozen eggs from your neighbor down the street,
Right.
a 100-ounce bar for $40,000 might not be the right thing. You might need little pieces of silver. That might be a good idea to have a portion of your stack in little pieces so you can buy basic essentials.
The 1/10 ounce round is great because it is like the lowest cost fractional precious metal product, but we do realize that it can be a little cumbersome to have these little coins. People don't really carry coin purses and that sort of thing anymore. So we're always looking for innovative solutions to make it convenient for people to use them for barter and trade. A customer and a good friend of our store had this idea. It's called an ag mag. And you just, boom.
You just flip them out.
Yep, they slide right out.
It's nice too. It's well made.
The question is, are you a concealed carry or an open carry guy? Do you want to open carry the ag mag or conceal carry the ag mag?
I love it. I love it.
This is the first day that we have them in stock. I'm definitely buying one, and we're really excited. They'll probably sell out fast, but
I want to buy one.
yeah, we'll make sure you get one.
Everybody wants to know what is going to be at the end. What will the ratio be?
What's the end game with the ratio?
Right. Let me throw this at you. Think on this. What does it say on a gold eagle? What's the value, the face value? $50. What is the face value of a silver eagle? $1. What is that ratio? 50 to 1. 50 to 1. I'm telling you, it's set already. It's 50 to 1. Don't wait for more. It says it right on the coin. How many times do you hear the word reset? Well, in a reset, it's reset. Okay, the ratios, the fractions, they're not going to be the same. A loaf of bread might be $100, right? You don't know. But if you're not prepared, what are you going to do? You can't buy anything. Gold is still your store of value.
Right.
Right? You're not going to go buy a loaf of bread with a gold eagle. You need fractional silver.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Maybe I can snag this from Dave. Yeah. I think the grading is probably low on this, but it's just
That one is
beautiful
really
gold.
mostly just gold value.
Right,
Because it's pretty worn and it's a common year,
But
as you
it's
can
still
see, but it's
gold.
gold.
Yes.
It's recognizable.
All right.
It's gold. I almost wanted to buy this one myself. I was contemplating it.
Seriously?
But if you want it, then you have it. I want
Thank
you
you.
to have it.
Mike!
We all eye things up when they come in.
I'm lowest on the totem pole, so.
We're going to actually do a fully loaded Ag Mag. I love that. That is so cool. I'm going to flip these out and hand them out when I barter with them. And that.
Excellent choice.
All right, buddy.